force the flicker away, and oh, whoopsie.
You know what? I can respect that from Todak. They were close, but not close enough. Like, that lead was able to keep Sunspark alive for the most part. Had they not... Oh, Nana doesn't get it. Wrong direction, and JP was able to get a free kill off of that. Good attempt, though. JP was able to get a free kill off of that. Good attempt, though.
You could see that things are slowly breaking out, and well, things are definitely looking a little bit more bleak for the side of Todak as well, and they are on a different sort of page coming from different members. Like, you saw one after another, they try to actually dive into the fight, and well, I can't really say all too much about what Nunas tried to attempt right there, and he was already low to begin with, and there's nothing that they could actually do against Sunspark, even if this child decides to hit right in. Like, what? Are you gonna kick up Masha or something?
I really don't know what to say, because like, you are looking for those angles, and when you are playing Cho, you just have to look for these opportunities, even if it might cost you your life. At least trading 1-for-1 in this position for a priority target is worth it.
Oh yeah, and look at Fuzuken though. He's so confident in his approach. He's just slowly showing all sort of the emotes that he has, and of course, we saw a lot of all these great King of Fighters skins as well. If they were to be playing Chao, of course, Nunas a 0-3-1 right now. Not really the best of stats, as we see Chao slowly falling off the radar here, and Nunas will be heading for a kick. Like I mentioned, there's no point even dealing with the frontliners here, and Fuzuken is just blocking him at his time of fun.
Yeah, Death Sonata even popped as well. Moon is chunked to half. He should be able to heal with no problem whatsoever. But again, Sunspark is so far ahead. 9K already. They have starved out Todak. They are just that anorexic kid in the corner, just looking for anything for themselves to try and get fat.
Well, I'm not sure, like, if you have anorexia, you're going to take a long time to even get there to start out off with, unless if they do another miraculous stun to take down this lord, but no miracles will be happening so far.
I mean, you gotta play with the mindset of Nunas. He's trying to make that play thinking he's fat, even though he really isn't. But now X-Ray is trying to pull out of the way. Brilliance is already pulled up, but they don't want him to go. Flicker comes out. They're gonna sacrifice. No members lost just now, but Masha on the back line kills Chiku solo by himself.
Oh, Renzio, of course, soaking a little bit too much, but he's still well and alive. Monster kill for JP, and how on earth will Toda will be able to even get close to the Granger? Here comes the Lord as well, trying to open things up. E1 immediately melted down like butter. Godlike going in for JP as they crush down the mid lane as well. Here comes the Nuts going on the back. What can they do? That will be one more kill going in for the Kimmy, and now only down to X-Ray as they will take the series, and now Sunspark will be leading away 2-1.
Again, we haven't even seen their final form, and they decided all of a sudden it's like playtime is over. We need this 2-1.
Yes, indeed, and they needed this so much, and they're just here to prove themselves why they are the best hailing from the Philippines.
Yeah, and Todak here, Game 3 must be so devastating for them, because again, they never had an opportunity to really come back into the game. Chiku was getting targeted time and time again. The rest of the team couldn't get ahead, and I think honestly, Sunspark, they played a strong game. Todak put a really good fight. If this went to a best of 5, I think we would have seen a completely different game.
Oh yeah, I'm really looking forward for those best of 5s. But for now, we gotta just settle for those best of 3s. And JP, undoubtedly the MVP of the matchup. And well, let's talk about the rest of the team, because I like how Fuzuken as well as Rufus played out. Renzio, although he fall 2 times in this entirety of the match, he was actually pulling a lot of strings to actually make things work, taking out a lot of towers. And as for Nunas, I felt like, you know, the priority on that Cho was unnecessary.
Yeah, honestly, I would have liked to see a better showing of the Cho this time now, but you have to admit, Fuzuken played a strong game, and when you have Kimmy Grok, your aggression, you just have to be hyper-aggressive. You have to make sure they can't even breathe. And I thought for a fact that X-Ray was going to get targeted. He was not the target. Sunspark is like, you know what? Forget about X-Ray. We're not going to let him play the game once we crush down Chiku as well as Nunas.
Yeah, and I feel like this is a sort of composition that Toda is not exactly all too familiar with, as we see them not really opting for this sort of a setup. But wow, that wall that was set up coming from the Grok definitely secured them pretty much great advantages. And we talk about them getting starved out. And, well, pickoffs, and pickoffs. Of course, Todak here trying to reply somewhere in the middle of the game, but this game-changing wall charge here definitely stopped Moon as well as E1. But E1, of course, still have a little bit of leeway right there, but unfortunately for Moon, of course, he had to bow out. But we're heading in towards that mid-game where we hit in towards 9-minute mark. When the Lord came up, there's just no stopping Sunsparks by then.
Yeah, it's just such a tough game to play at this point, and I think having Refalacia, he did a good amount of work, and especially with the true damage, making sure that he has that availability. He can kind of just tank pretty much all the camps with his passive as well. He has like an unseen presence in a lot of these games, and though he comes in with Last Insanity to kind of absorb as many abilities as possible, chunk out a number of people in the back line before he kind of bails out and lets Grok kind of do the rest of the work for him. I think overall Sunspark just played a very clean game this time around.
Yeah, and this time, of course, not only clean, they were so decisive in every single thing that they were just forcing Todak to play on that turf, and every single terms and condition were met to actually get themselves that sort of lead. And it all started off by that jungle raid. That jungle raid was so nasty. Every single buff, as well as some of these camps, have been snatched away. And, well, I don't know. They're just going to be spamming a lot of all these feels bad for the side of Todak.
Agreed.
Well, I guess there's still more to fight for because we are still having a lot more of these matchups coming up. And now, let's see what the winners have to say as Sunspark claims this victory 2-1.
Let's go throw it over to the interview.
Thank you so much, all the casters here. There was a fantastic, intense match here between Sunspark going up against Todak. And here with me, I have Refalacia from Sunspark himself here. How are you feeling?
Feeling good. Excited. Yeah.
Excited here. Right after match here, you immediately taking 2-1 against Todak Esports. And my oh my, Todak has been one of the top contenders from the Malaysian region, especially with that dominating performance is game number 1. Were you expecting that kind of gameplay in the first game itself?
Yeah, we expected them to be that strong. We just play with our best. That's why we came with a good start. Then the second game we lost. Then we boost ourselves again so we can end the game in 2-1.
All right. And I gotta ask this here. It's your first time coming into its M1 World Championship. I gotta ask a little bit more of your teams here. Who's your youngest in your team?
Kel BJ, 14 years old. He's our fighter, marksman, or mid lane. Yeah.
Wow, a multi-role at 14 years old coming up into the globals. I have to ask this here. We saw in game number 1, he was playing the mage role. And then in game number 2, they switch up into the off-lane fighter role here. And now he's putting back onto the base here. Are you guys still trying to find a play style coming in from your team?
Yeah, there's a lot more to learn. We always practice to change roles, to rotate our play style so we can have a better gameplay.
Wow, that's a little bit tough here. No, that sounds like there's a lot of history behind what you're going through. You mind sharing a little bit here of Sunspark's journey coming before heading towards the world stage?
Actually, it's really fun journey because we always eat together, we always bond together. That's why every game we always have fun, we always enjoy the game. Every outcome is a very good outcome for us.
All right. Last question here. How long have you guys been playing together?
Almost a year.
My oh my, 1 year and they're here at the World Station. That's Sunspark for you. Thank you so much, Refalacia. And of course, good luck towards the next games to come here. And of course, ladies and for those of you watching here, we are going to be taking a short break. But as of now, let's take a look at what the casters think about this interview. So casters, take it away.
Loving the optimistic approach coming from the side of Sunspark as they claim victory rightfully. And wow, of course, 14 years old prodigy with that multi-role coming in. Kill VJ is definitely one player that we really have to look out for. Of course, get in. We've seen what they have to offer here. Is there going to be any other teams there that could topple down Sunsparks in this group?
Honestly, I don't know. I'm waiting for like Indonesia to like get into the mix during the playoffs to kind of see how this all metals down, man. It's gonna be absolutely insane.
Yeah, definitely going to be pretty much insane. And now we're going to go into a short break. And when we come back, we're going to bring you match number 2. This is Contra here, as well as Get in Q signing off.
Girls with the nails done.
They told us that it's just a game. That nothing will ever come out of it. That it won't bring us fame or glory. That it won't make our country proud. They told us to stop wasting our time. Well, let them say all they want. We'll prove it to them. We'll be the champions. Mobile Legends Bang Bang World Championship 2019. M1.
You may have been denied. You may have hit rock bottom. You may have been craving for the lights. Now, all strive for one goal.
Taking that life of the Akayas, whether it becomes the jump on the Emerald.
Put your hands together for the champion.
Do you have what it takes to be a champion worthy of the highest glory? been denied. You may have hit rock bottom. You may have been craving for the lights. Now, all strive for one goal.
He's gonna be taking that life of the Akai as well. There becomes the jump on the Emerald.
Put your hands together for the champion.
Do you have what it takes to be a champion worthy of the highest glory?
Do you have what it takes to get your game on and win the World Championship? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Mobile Legends Bang Bang World Championship 2019. This is day 3. We're going into Group C, the second series of today. I'm Husky and I'm joined by IC Baby 12.
Hey, my, oh my, what an intense match here just now to start things off. We had earlier on Todak going up against Sunspark. 2-1 from the side of Sunsparks here. And what should you say? Todak will be proceeding in towards this round and he's going to be playing again. But this time it will be against Evo Esports from Turkey. So I'm looking forward to see how things are going to go in this second matchup.
Absolutely. And of course, this World Championship is presented to you guys by Muntun, of course supported by KBS. This is also live streaming exclusively on YouTube Gaming. And of course, if you guys are watching right now, catch every battle stream like cray, get unlimited data for all apps with Gila Unlimited GX30 only with your mobile.
Yes, my, oh my. And speaking of which here, you know, remember to catch all the streams here because we are going to be expecting some intense matches here. Today, we saw 2-1 from side of Sunsparks, and now from the side of Todak. Do they need to step it up here, especially for Malaysia fans? And for the sake of Malaysia, they need to step up and try to pull a win here because they've got 1 point. Okay, fortunately for them, from the first series, they still have 1 point of it taken away from side of Sunspark.
Yeah.
But now, they need like what? Clean 2-0s, maybe 2-1 here if they want to stand a chance, but I'm not too sure about that. But Evo Esports, this is going to be their first debut match here. They do have a chance. They will be the one to be the obstacle in the face of Todak.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you've played your first series and you don't come out with a win.
Oh yeah.
Todak have one less series to play because this is their second game.
Oh,
as
yeah.
we both have seen just now. Especially Todak. I want to talk about the first series. I came in expecting a full 3 game, but props to Sunsparks for that amazing game 3. They roll over Todak. Now going up against Evo Esports, a team that we don't normally get to see or we are not normally exposed to, especially for our domestic region. They might pull off the Burmese Goose effect, those off-meta picks that might catch Todak off guard. If you're Todak right now, you have to kind of recover and just readjust yourself to get ready for this new series.
Fair enough. In this case as well, Evo Esports, they have 1 game advantage in a sense where they actually had the good read here on how Todak was playing against Sunsparks early on. So in this case, in terms of the draft here, we may see a little bit of a switch up coming from Evo Esports just to deal with Todak. But you know, adaptability is the key. We've known here from Todak, especially because we are from Malaysia as well. We've seen a lot of their games here, and they've known to be able to play a lot of different kind of drafts here. So I'm not too sure if the guys from Evo Esports will be able to get caught off guard. But one of the notable heroes that we actually want to bring up is going to be the Hellcut pick here.
Yeah, the Hellcut. We've seen Chiku on the Hellcut during game 2 against Sunsparks. Absolutely amazing performance. Was able to kind of hard carry the team and allow the rest of Todak to kind of recover from a slight early deficit. But Evo Esports, we talked about this. They have been watching how Todak plays. They kind of have an idea. Todak against Sunsparks in the last series, it was always Harif Esmeralda. Harif Esmeralda. The final game is Harif and Hylos taken up by Sunsparks. Evo Esports, they're not going to follow that pattern right now. They're going to ban out the Kaya, and Todak will take out Arkai.
Yeah, and I want to bring out one point as well. I was watching a couple of their VODs as well when they were playing their qualifiers. They play a really mean Grok. Like, they have a Brock player who just does so much in terms of team fights where they go for this flicker Glock, which doesn't make sense for me, but it worked out for them. I'm not too sure if they're going to be pulling the Glock strat here, but seems to me Todak is going to be banning Arkai. Yes, they do. I think it's a great ban here from Todak. It was a specific respect ban towards Evil, just because they do play Arkai a lot during their qualifiers.
Yeah, and Todak might have a bit of flashbacks from the Arkai coming in from Sunsparks as well in that game 1 that absolutely dominated them. But like you mentioned, it is a safe pick. It is a safe ban, a respect ban. Now it's Evo Esports' turn to make their choice. They're taking their time with this, and they're going to go with the high loss.
Your team
Well,
is
the high loss
banned.
is pretty much banned here, but speaking of which, the Kimi is pretty much up for grabs here. So Toda may consider just, banning Xbox or Kimi, but just based on the previous series as well, Toda has not gave a damn about Xbox apparently. They're okay with dealing with Xbox.
Yeah, 3 games consecutively for Reflexa to play that very mean Xbox, and they are gonna go for the Grok.
Your
You mentioned that
team
Evo
is
Esports, they
picking.
play a really mean Grok that somehow worked in their for their playstyle, and told out they will show that respect. They take out the Grok, but kind of falling back to this a lot of tanks taken out kind of meta. But guess what? Kufra is now open for the second time today. If Kufra gets picked up, it will be the 3rd Kufra pick across the board.
Well, I have to correct you there a little bit here. It was Renzio who's played the Xbox from Sunsparks, and also later on was played from QVJ as well. They switch up the roles a little bit. However, yeah, you talked about the Grok as well. Yes, they play a really good one as well. But even in terms of S tier tactics here, I like how they just ban
Your
off
team
immediately the
is
high loss and
picking.
also the Grok, just to deny all the super tankiness from the hero pool as well. But we know Toda can play a lot of tank roles. They're not too afraid about that. However, the Harry first pick here from the side of Evo Esports, this is something I'm really worried here, because this immediately opens things up for the side of Toda to actually pick off the Kufra and also the Esmeralda if they want. I'm not surprised if they first pick the Kufra here. It's kind of like a must pick, but seems to me they're going to be prioritizing on the
Your
Masha
team
instead
is
of the
picking.
Xborg.
Yeah, Kufra, a direct counter. We talked about this before the broadcast. If you see a Kufra, counter to Harry, counter to carry, any hero that wants to dash around, that wants to be mobile, is ineffective in that bouncing ball. They leave the X ball open, but I feel like it's completely fine. You have that Kufra in front. It stops so many so many avenues from all the other meta heroes as we speak. So Evo Esports, with that priority on the Harif, they must have an idea to make this work.
Yeah, I like how you brought up the Kufra as well. I think like in the previous series as well, we saw game number 2. That was how Toda actually won. We saw how tanky, I think it was E1 was
Your
playing
team
the
is
Kufra was
picking.
just super ridiculous. And it was just insane, honestly speaking. And now, like I said as well, Xbox will be taken here from the side of Evo Esports, carry as well to close things off. But Toda, what are you going to be playing here? Okay, Kimi, pretty standard
Your
stuff here.
team
Masha,
is
Kufra,
banned.
and Kimi. So they have another tank still available, not shown yet. But Evo Esports, I'm worried here. If you think about it, right? Most of the S tier tanks is pretty much taken out of the pool. Hylos is out. Grok is out. Kufra is pretty much out here in favor of Toda. What kind of tanks are we going to be expecting here from Evo Esports? Like, what? Gatot?
Yeah, Gatot, Franco, there's still the Lolita. They got a ban
Your
out Chang'e,
team
and if
is
you're Toda
banned.
right now, you're looking, maybe the Lolita ban is going to be a really juicy one. Lolita does extremely well against the Kimi. You block all the projectile, the maximum charge as well. The Kimi's ultimate, if Lolita can catch that, can intercept that, it will be very good for Evo Esports. Another concern that we previously slightly touched on is the fact that you have the Harif, you have the carry, where Kufra
Your
just instantly
team
counters
is
them if he gets
picking.
on top of them with that bouncing ball. There we go. Lolita taken out by Toda. That is all your top tier tanks on paper eliminated from the hero pool.
Wow.
Evo Esports now, they have a big choice to make.
This is tough here for Evo Esports because the tanks are pretty much taken out here as well. I think, okay, the Kaja is pretty much out as well. They can still play the Valia support if they want to, but it's not that great. You may transition into a Badang support if they want to from side Toda. But once they take out all these tanks here, I'm worried from side Evo Esports. They force them into a situation where they have to play tanks like what, a Mino, a Tigreal, maybe. But okay, seems to be it's gonna be a Valir here from side Todak, and I don't know, man. Esmeralda is pretty much still up for taking if they want to deal with the Harif later on. But they're saving that final pick here, trying to play a little bit of flex pick here. The Valir pick, is it gonna be support or is it gonna be mid? Or is it going to be the mage here from side Toda? That's going to be the last pick here to open things up and decide on this final drafts coming from Evo Esports.
And it's hard because before the Gato pick, I actually like the
Your
Gato pick
team
because
is
it is
picking.
basically the safest and the best choice for Evo Esports.
Yeah.
The Franco is not going to work because of Kufra. You cannot pick Tigro because Valor just pushes
Yeah.
you back with the wall. So the best chance that Evos has, the safest one, is the Diggy and the Gato. Diggy with the time journey to protect the team, and of course the Gato Kacha to be that main front line that Evo Esports have to kind of pin their hopes on. Toda though feeling pretty good about themselves. They didn't finish the first series with 0 points, and coming into this, they want to get that 2-0. They have the last pick advantage as well. You look at the Diggy, you look at the Gato. Toda, any pick that they pick right now is going to be great. Esmeralda, I would love that pick if they decide to go for that.
I wouldn't be surprised here, but you know, I'm pretty sure they're pretty happy about this here. They have not much answer towards the Diggy here, but it seems to me it will still with the Hellcat here, and I honestly think Evo Esports is in some trouble because not many heroes can actually deal with Hellcat. But at the same time, they drafted the Hellcat here, considering they did not pick the Gushin to deal with the Xbox here. We've been focusing on the Harif too much here. We completely forgotten about Xbox, but we need heroes like Gushin or even the Hellcat to actually deal with the Xbox. So that was a great final pick here from Hellcat. Honestly speaking, I'm definitely going to be favoring Todak's draft just because I'm not a big fan of Gado Kacha.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Todak's draft look more robust. If we talk about on paper, on textbook, Todak is following the script. But for Evo Esports, at the same time, that is a lot of burden on your carry. We talk Harif, sure, he is also the main core for Evo's Esports, but when the game progresses, you need that carry to shred through this Kufra, to shred through this, to kind of survive against this Masha. Harif now that will then transition to this core that has to deal with this Hellcat alone. You cannot leave the carry because Chico, we've seen him play an absolutely insane Hellcat. Todak, they got their main picks. They are comfortable in their zone. We're not sure about Evo's Esports just yet, but I'm interested to see what they have to bring to the table.
Yeah, definitely here. You know, Evo Esports, they do stand a really solid chance here, but all hope of them here is going to be on the Xbox player here, to my space, especially with the Harif as well, because they have those kind of early engagements here. We talked about, hey, we need those Groks, we need those Hylos here for those early engagements. Harif is one of those early heroes here, and if Todak finds a way to actually stop them in the track, this is where Kufra and Hellcat will slowly scale into the later game here. But ladies and gentlemen, here, this is going to be Evo Esports from Turkey going up against Todak from Malaysia in this best of 3 series here at the MLBB World Championship 2019 M1.
Yeah, and also to slightly touch on the Hellcat pick, because the Kaya was already banned out by Evos in that first phase. It is really safe to pick this Hellcat. You don't have anyone to kind of use a Divine Judgment and pull the Hellcat out of position to kind of disable this Kimmy and Todak. They recognize the early disadvantage that Evo Esports has. They're going to collapse on that bottom part immediately. Carry was left alone. Galo Kacha is not there. So Todak, they can easily get on this objective, especially with that Kimmy.
Wow, this is something I'm not expecting coming from Todak. They actually went for a single tank setup here. So Nana's going to be the main support here, but in this case, now here comes the engagement. A1 diving the tier 1s here. Unfortunately, doesn't seem to be able to take off the Itachi in that regards.
Yep, Galo Kacha pretty hard to take down early on. The bouncing ball was perfect, but doesn't really matter too much early on. E1 tanked as much as he could, but the tower was just a bit too much for him. Evo Esports still in a pretty good spot, but they're going to lose that tower before the 1.5 minute mark.
Oh, good call there from X-Ray. No, fortunately for him, he actually managed to steal the buff here. If Ash from the side of Evo Esports actually takes that buff here, this is going to be equalized goal from side Todak. But now,
E1.
tier 1's down here. Now here comes the first engagement. Kufra with the bouncing ball. And now the Revitalize has been used from side E1. They will take him down. First blood will head in towards the favor of Evo Esports. They stack 4 guys there. And X-Ray will trade off on the top side.
And it's
Ash actually trading off. My bad.
2 kills for Evo Esports early on. The idea, E1, he went for the engage, did not expect back out immediately. If you look at this replay brought to you by U Mobile, you can see that Evo Esports, they were ready for that engage coming from Todak. And E1, like I said, didn't anticipate Evo Esports with the numbers advantage. Took a bit too much damage and kind of get that first blood away. So Evo Esports with a great start. This also means that this carry has space to recover because he lost that tier 1 before the 1.5 minute mark, but it's totally fine.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? I talked about how they have to worry about the Xbox here from Evo Esports, right? Todak, they have to figure things out here. They're trying things a little bit risky, but A1, he's only level 3. He doesn't have the Tyrant's Rage. But like you said, the first turtle buff here, Insanity getting baited out here as well. E1 will fall immediately here, and now where's the counter engagement here? Evo Esports taking 3 kills, but now here comes the stun coming from Ninas, but they can't seem to finish him off. The Revitalize has been used, and seems to me the turtle buff will be secure from side of Evo Esports.
And Todak is kind of falling back to how they play in the domestic scene, trying to go for the split push, not able to get that turtle away, and it means Itachi is going to find an engage onto Ninas. Ninas won't be able to make it out this time. The maximum charge, just not enough damage. 4 kills for Evo Esports. It's going to be 5 because Itachi found Moon, managing to flicker away. This Kimi will survive for now. X-Ray is here with E1 as well. Does Evo Esports want to continue this? And it seems like E1 will pull the trigger onto Itachi. Ash will get out as well. So Todak, they find nothing in return.
Oh, nicely done there coming from Evo Esports, forcing the last insanity on Asher to actually disengage that fight. A1, unfortunately to say we did not see enough of follow-up here because right now they need Moon to come up online with from the side of Toda, and they're actually scaling pretty 50-50 despite all these kills and economy being favored towards Evo Esports. And it seems to me the game plan here from Satoda is buy time for this Hellcat to come online. And in this case, Chuku is already level 7 here, and Toda, they're playing their cards right. Evo Esports, they completely ignored Hellcat for the first 3.5 minutes right now.
Itachi now trying to frontline Chiku, but Chiku's going to turn back. Kaze joins the fight. Chiku will be forced to retreat, but meanwhile in the top lane, Ash with the last insanity is going to get on top of Moon. This Kimi will start to burn down. Meanwhile, the Harry also find Nernas. That's another 2 kills for Evo Esports, and it seems like they're outmaneuvering Toda.
Very nicely done here. And Evo Esports, they finally got a good read here. They know that Hellcat is nowhere in the vicinity, especially from Chiku. But Chiku, he stole the gold crab here. Will he go for Petrified? Look at that burst here. Will he even survive? Unfortunately, he will go down with the gold buff. And Toda, my oh my.
Toda is seemingly falling apart. Itachi not able to find that knockout with the ultimate, but Hellcat going down to Kaze. The true damage was just way too much for this Hellcat to deal with early on. 7-1, 4.5 minutes in. Evo Esports, the only saving grace for Toda right now is that the goal disadvantage is a 2B, but now X-Ray, they found him. Marsha trying to run away, but the Hellbite is melting to both Mocker and Luca. X-Ray tries to turn around, but he's not going to make it out. Mega kill for Mocker.
Good game sense there coming from Evo Esports to actually find their way into that kill. Let's take a look at the replay here. X-Ray immediately could not do much. He knew he was pretty much stuck. He tried to come into Lucia, but the time journey was there to provide the additional shield as also movement speed to kite him around. So Evo Esports making full use of their drops here. They understood their timings from Saratoga. They do not want Chiku to come up online.
Yeah, and the problem with this is if you are Toda, if you kind of get those towers in the record time, under a minute and a half, you need to transition that to the other lanes. Toda, they were not able to do so because Evo Esports, they willingly give that objective away to create more space for carry, because now that lane is safe for this carry to maneuver. They go around the map, they pick off Toda one by one, and because of that, that first turret actually doesn't matter to Evo Esports at all.
Well, in this case here, Toda, they're going to be playing the split push strategy here, and once they take the middle tower in tier 1, this is where these things are going to open things up from side of Toda. However, Evo Esports, they have a good read. They want to apply the pressure. They have the economy lead. You can see they're protecting the middle station lane here, and X-Ray, once again, he's going to try to go for a split push, and this time they force rotations coming from Evo Esports.
And you have Aeon, E1 as well, trying to protect X-Ray, but X-Ray is going to get ganged up on. He's just going to buy time this time, running towards the middle lane into that jungle. He won't make it out, but Evo Esports, they're going to go for the counter engage. E1's going to miss that ultimate completely and be punished by Katsu. He'll be taken now, Todak now trying to retreat, and they will be forced to back off.
Overcommitment there coming from A1, but good play there from X-Ray, trying to buy a little bit of time, and yes, they bought in a bit of time here. Look at this, the creep waves from the top side as well is pretty much pushed in, and Evo Esports, they are forced to separate here. This will reduce the pressure that they need. Toda will buy a little bit of small time, but I'm not too sure it's going to be enough here because they've lost A1 in the process. But however, Nernas, oh no, will get scouted out from side of Mocker, and he will take that kill with the Xamarin Force. Revitalize being popped out as well. Evo Esports will take the tier 1 instead.
And making it look so easy as well. You don't see Gato Kacha often. He's not the main priority tank, but you have to always keep in mind that Gato Kacha's ultimate has a long reach. She can always turn around and start to fly. That was what happened to Kufra, and suddenly Kufra seemingly has a way to be taken down. Evo Esports, they're demonstrating that again. Toda now trying to go for split, but Chiku misses his skills completely, and that means Ash will get out alive. X-Ray though, still gonna get that tier 2 but, and yes he will. Trying to run away once more. Gato Kacha with the ultimate will force the flicker out. X-Ray buying time for the rest of his team, but Evo Esports will try to go for a collapse once more. This time Toda, they are ready for it.
Uh-oh, Evo X, they're in some trouble. Tier 1s are pretty much exposed here from the side of Todak, and you know that this is happening here from side of Todak. They bought enough space here, and now talking about this tier 1, it opened the entire map for this split push strategy to even work here. Evo Esports here, they had the aggression, they had economy, but this time Todak finally equalizes here. What a play here coming from X-Ray. Evo Esports, how will they play this?
Itachi did not have the ultimate, so Evo Esports, they have to concede that turtle. There's no way you can try to engage without that Gato Kacha ultimate knockup into taunt. So Todak, they still get the objectives, and we pointed this out, both you and I. This was what's been keeping Todak in terms of goalie. They are not too far behind because they got the turtles, they got the farm, they got the minion wave and the towers. But Evo Esports, because of all the lead they've garnered through kills, they are able to roam freely across the map, and Todak just trying to split them apart.
Good steal here coming from Marker. That buff is what Todak thinks needs in the next fight here. But because of that buff being stolen here, I don't think Todak is going to be committing here a lot. Once again, X-Ray is going to buy a little bit more time here for Chiku go for the split pusher. This double assassin strat here is working out. Chiku once again going to be focusing their mark here. Last Insanity being popped out, and so is the Darkness to buy time here. Unfortunately to say, they lose X-Ray from the side of Todak, and now Evo Esports, they want to wrap things up now.
And you can only do so much with the same strategy. The split push not going to work out because you're giving resources away. Mocker is going to go right in. Kufa found it, and he'll be shut down by Chiku. Evo Esports, though, with the time journey coming out a bit late, doesn't matter. They still want to go for the engage. The taunt onto E1. E1, he desperately needs to get away and front line for his team. Great push from Nanas to disengage from their cousin, will be forced to retreat. Mundo going to take those time bombs, and Todak managing to secure that kill and back off.
Wow, what a play there coming from Todak and Evo Esports. They've lost a couple members here. They traded Marker in the process. Unfortunately for Todak, their economy is now slightly leading in favor of Todak. And this split push here is what is stopping this entire aggression coming from Evo Esports. They have to focus on pushing out the lanes, and you can see the itemizations here slowly but surely. This Masha is going to come up online. Corrosive Scythe and the Demon Hunter Sword is up available. So X-Ray's next item is going to be potentially the Wind Talker. We see Durance is already up on Nanas, and this is where slowly but surely Todak will come online. But Evo Esports, will they get this good read though?
Evo Esports seemingly ready. Itachi has been that magical front line for Evo Esports. He's been getting the engages, but with the Lord now finally spawning, the split push from Todak will be a key to kind of pick Evo Esports apart and secure themselves that objective. They've been doing it for the past two turtles. Chiku now forced to run away, and Morka is there. Gato Kacha as well. The ultimate doesn't connect. Chiku managing to get away, and Todak now, they have control over the Lord Pit.
Why? Oh my, Todak once again buying more time, forcing so many big ultimates here from the side of Evo Esports, and this is going to buy a little bit more time here for X-Ray to do his thing. However, economy-wise, once again, is still 50-50. The Lord is going to be up for contestants here. Evo Esports.
He found Nunas, and that is your valid taken out straight away. E1 will be isolated, but he should be able to get out. Todak, they're still trying to push those minion waves out. It's going to be X-Ray doing that with the Masha, but Evo Esports, they're going to start the Lord out. We've seen Todak go for a loss here against Sunsprout in Game 2 in the Series 1. Can they do this again? And they need to make this happen, but the Lord is falling way too quick. Todak, they're trying to go for it, but that's not going to secure the Lord. This time it's going to go over to the Harem. Marker is going to go for the re-engage onto E1, but he'll bouncing ball to get away. Moon trying to do as much damage as she can. Tyrant's Wrath does come in to get Marker into the wall, but it doesn't really matter. Everyone gets out. The Lord has now spawned. Todak goes for a retreat. They actually pick up the Diggy. Now Marker needs to start backing up, but Gato catch him with a re-engage onto E1. E1 has to start running, but Marker will get the kill.
Oh, this is bad here from side of Todak. However, they're trying to buy time here because Chiku getting a solo kill up top. He's splitting the push, and that was the whole objective coming from Todak. It was a bait. Commit to the fight. They are going to go for the end here because Chiku, he has the potential to take the crystal. The split push game is real coming from Todak. Evo Esports, they walked into the trap. They lose a tier 3 up top, and because of that, they're okay with losing the Lord here from Todak. That was the initial game plan from start to end. The Masha Hellcut split push combo coming in from Todak.
Yeah, but Todak playing this pretty well. If you don't succeed first, try again. Because of that top inhibitor taken down by this Hellcut, the whole Lord advantage has been completely negated by Todak. And this is the key for them to stay alive in this game, because there's no way they can fight Evo Esports on. They've been kind of splitting Evo Esports apart with all these engages, but this time Moon will be caught out, and Marker will find his head. E1 now tries to protect the Kimi, but he is isolated from the rest of his team as well. 4 members of Evo Esports on top of E1, and he will not survive. Nernas has to back up. He gets the knockback, but Todak, they will continue the split push.
Oh, this is big here for Evo Esports. They took down A1 and Moon. Now they were thinking about closing this game here, but Todak, they have only Nernas to defend against this. You can see Masha and Chiku is pretty much split up as well. They want to go for the split push. However, this damage here from the side of Evo Esports is a little bit too harsh. They need Chiku back. Oh no, Chiku, his HP is a little bit low here. Nernas forcing them back here. Unfortunately for them, Evo Esports will disengage.
Wow, such great discipline from Evo Esports. The Diggy was standing in the middle of his team. The moment Chico comes in, he gets that time journey. But now Chico will find Mocker. Does he really want to fight this? Mocker is going to start on him. Chico a bit more, but it will not work out. Mocker finds that kill on the Hellcat.
Oh, nice try there from Chico, overcommitting here. He needed that kill, and now Marker 915. He's super strong here. Level 15 up on Kadze as well. The carries already online from side of Evo Esports. Toda, this split push game here needs to drag this a little bit longer. However, Evo Esports, they are trying their best to close up this game. Tier 3s are down in the middle lane, but there are still 2 Tier 2s on the top and bottom lane. And those 2 towers here is the reason why Toda is still in the game.
And if you're Evo Esports right now, that mid inhibitor means way more than getting that mid inhibitor on Toda worth way more than losing your top inhibitor because of the minion wave is slightly shorter in the middle lane. Evo Esports, they can slowly go for this collapse. Kimi will be the one to keep Evo Esports out for now.
How will they play this though? Toda, they're still split pushing here. 38k in towards Toda and 42k economy from Evo Esports here. There's going to be 4k difference here. Toda trying to minimize the economy as much as they can. X-Ray with the split push here, fortunately for him, almost gets scouted out.
And also, I want to slightly touch on, because Evo Esports took down that mid inhibitor, that mid tier 3, it means that this Marsha is forced to focus her attention on the middle lane instead of the side lanes, because we talked about it, shorter lane means the minion wave crash faster into your base. Evo Esports, they got their priorities right, and they are forcing Tola into an impossible corner.
True, true, and true. However, on the right side here, the longer lanes here means longer rotation for Evo Esports here. So Chicken and Egg coming into the game here. However, Evo Esports, they know what Toda wants here. They know X-Ray wants to take down this tier 2, because this tier 2 in the middle lane here from side Evo Esports is the reason why they're having a rough time. But at the same time, Evo Esports, they have this good read here. How will this fare out?
They can collapse onto this. It's going to be a 4-on-5 if Tola goes for the engage. Seems like E1 has found Luca. Time journey though will keep Luca safe, and now E1 again isolated from the team, being the front line. But guess what? The back line is exposed. E1 completely eviscerated by Evo Esports as Itachi forces the rest of Tola to back off. And now Evo Esports, they're going for collapse. The Hellcat is their last insanity, will be the last straw. Toda X-Ray though, still finding a way to engage. Chico as well, waiting in the wings, but they found it! Itachi, insane game sense, now Morgan to get on top of Chico. Chico cannot go down, but he will! Gato catch out the killing spree, they will lose Marsha as well. Evo Esports, is this the win for them?
This might be the game here. Apparently, it was a nice setup here. Great game sense coming from Itachi, going for the scout. He feels like he's got his Monkey Kill Sharingan out and going for the fight. And this case here, Evo X Ash, they is going to try and stall here from side Nanas, because the Lord is going to be up the objectives here. Simon Force getting committed as well. They're going to protect Kaze to take the Lord. And this is going to be the opening window to close up the game from side Evo Esports. Toda, I don't think they have any answer to this right now.
Second Lord for Evo Esports. Itachi came in with the Sharingan, but now he has the Rinnegan ready. Perfect game sense, perfect prediction. Evo Esports, they are in such a good spot. The carries online, 5-0-2. The Harif is absolutely monstrous, 9-1-7. He is decked out. So Toda, they have a lot on their plate, and it might be too much.
Oh, it's definitely going to be a tough year. However, Toda, once again, they have the split push potential. They can stall this out. But if Evo Esports just 5-man runs mid here with the Lord, they need all hands on deck from side Toda here to actually defend against this here. But you can see Chiku is trying to make those plays here. He wants to go for the split push end game here. It might be a base rush, but I don't know if Toda can hold this here. You can see Moon struggling here to take down the Lord.
Yeah, Chiku needs to be with him right now. Gato Kacha Itachi is really going to join the rest of the Akatsuki squad. Evo Esports, they are going for that crystal. The Lord will be taken out eventually, but they'll give Evo Esports enough time to take out the second inhibitor in the top lane. Now Toda, actually Gato Kacha isolated by Chiku. It's going to be a 4-on-4 for now, and Toda will find a chance to start. Great engage by E1, but not good enough because Carry is belting through him. Immortality will give him a second life, but he needs to get out right here, right now. He won't make it out. Monster give him the carry, last insanity from Ash, and X-Ray is desperately trying to chill through the back line, but he will get taken out by Monka. Now Chiku joins the fight, takes out the Harry, but will it be enough? They lost the Diggy as well, but here comes Itachi, gets a ton to Chiku. Chiku managing to escape. Toda, they hold on.
What a play there coming from Toda here. It seemed that they overextended the stay here, but Evo Esports, they underestimated the power of Chiku. Gets bursted out by Moon. He is still the marksman for the team here with the Mage Emblem, but still, they need more items from the side of Toda if they want to fight against Evo Esports. But fortunately here, let's take a look at the replay here. A little bit misplaced here from side Evan, but the time journey was the one that actually saved the day. But this time that was bought here, the last insanity from side of Ash instantly gets bursted out, was one of the reasons why Evo Esports could not close this out, because Toda focused fire their way through. They made a little bit of small mistakes here, but still, Evo Esports, they are struggling to close up this game just because of how well the decision making is being made from side of Toda Gaming.
But one last inhibitor stand for Toda Esports. They took down the top inhibitor from the side of Evo Esports pretty early on, but they lost theirs as well. So Evo Esports, they can't wait for that third Lord. 100 seconds until that objective spawns. Toda, they need to hold this out. The split push is not going to be as effective as it was because of the same magnitude of the minion wave.
Yep, at the same time as well, X-Ray, he's got the Queen 1 available on towards the Masha. They are going to be able to come up online. Chiku does have the power potion. This is where Chiku is at his scariest moment here. Evo Esports may not anticipate this power potion available, and this is where he's going to be opportunity for them to close up this game. And Kaze immediately also getting a rock potion to try and deal with this burst coming from Chiku. Smart call there from Evo Esports.
And Evo Esports is going to force the flicker out of X-Ray, and they will push out that top minion wave. Now they can collapse. 2-2-1 for now, but all of those heroes will be safe because they have some sort of utility. Gato Kacha is safe on his own. You have the Explorer with the Harib, you have the Diggy with the carry. There's no way Toda can engage and get a pick-off.
Yep, at the same time here, how are they gonna do this here? They have the Immortal up available on Chiku. Evo Esports, they can't seem to go for those pickoffs. They need one kill, at least one on the Hellcurt or one on towards the Masha here. And Evo Esports is struggling to find those kills here because Toda is just not giving an inch here. Mocker forced to switch up his boots here, going for the armor boots just to have a little bit of tankiness here to deal with the right clicks coming in from Chiku. And smart call, Holy Crystal come up on Moon as well.
Almost a 10,000 net worth lead for Evo Esports. The third Lord will be what seals the deal if Evo Esports gets it. But Toda, we've seen it, we said it. They managed a steal previously. You can see all 5 members of Toda. They are waiting at the Lord pit. They are waiting near that bottom jungle for Evo Esports to start. They are daring this. They are dancing around that pit, and Evo Esports, we'll see if they go for this.
Yeah, it might happen here, but Toda, you know, one big turning point here is going to be the glowing one up on the Nas as well. This support is slowly but surely going to hit like a truck. However, Evo Esports, they will have the burst damage here. They are going to be starting off the Lord here. How will Toda respond?
Toda, they see everything. Lord down to 50%. Evo Esports, they'll pull out the Lord right now, and they will give the rest of Toda enough time to split out the minion waves. They're pushing out the top and the middle lane. Good move from Toda. Now it's going to be their turn to engage on the Lord. Evo Esports, they have a big choice to make. Do they want to contest the split push? Do they want to go for the objective? And it seems like right now, Toda has had them torn apart. They're in a dilemma. Good move from Toda.
I like what Toda is doing here. They're trying to bait this Lord out here so that the Masha can actually go for the split push here. Power potion reset again from side Chiku to Toda. The Lord is there. Here comes the jump. And Evo Esports, they're trying to close this game, but they can't seem to finish off. But look at this. The Lord is on the edge here, favoring the Toda. This is next level plays. Are they going to reset this fight? And no, Evo, they have to complete this fight. Here comes Toda. The Tyrant's range. The Storm from Rock. Who's going to take the Lord? It won't be Chiku. It's going to be game. Toda, they forced Evo Esports into a top spot here. They're going to go for the pickup, but unfortunately, it's not over yet. X-Ray is taken down, and Toda will take this reset here. It's going to be 1-for-1 down here, but Toda, what a play. But Nanas, he's going to try and pick up even more. Luca will get sniped off, and here comes the time of Evo. They won't take out Diggy. Evo Esports, they lose 2. What a play from Toda.
And Toda, they are the miracle worker. The most important Lord of the game goes to the red side. Mocker bought enough time, got the kill onto X-Ray, but it wasn't enough. Now they have to defend 3 versus 4. They need to hold on for 50 more seconds with the X-Ball. They should be able to do this a bit longer, but Toda, you can see they have the wind in their eyes. They have the crystal in their sights. 8 more seconds. Gato Kacha will be back. Itachi will join the rest of his team in a slight moment. They don't have the Diggy for another 10 seconds. And Toda, if they want to end this, they need to end this right now. You can see they're fully committing onto this. Ash is there. Chiku going straight for the crystal, but he's forced there. Gato Kacha getting the ultimate in. No knockout. Chiku has a second life. He'll come back. They'll get the second inhibitor. The Lord is still pretty much knocking on the doors though. But Evo Esports, they'll hold on. It's a godlike for the carry. The knockout for the Lord. Not enough. They will lose Chiku. Kaze now trying to go for it, but the maximum chance will find Mocker. 50 seconds, 21 minutes in. Toda, they want to close this out, but can they do it?
Evo Esports has lost their main physical damage output here, and Toda is going to take opportunity over this here because X-Ray, he has the military rod, he can go for it now. A1 missing the Tyrant's range. Evo Esports, how would it spot? But the crystals is exposed. How would it close this? And they won't focus it now as Toda will take game number 1 in this series. What a game, what a game.
The Swordfish strike back. The Lord was all they needed, and they took it all the way to secure that game 1. Evo Esports fantastic early game, amazing mid game, but all it took was one good decision from Todak, and they walk away with game 1.
Exactly here. Crouching Tiger, hidden Swordfish. I like that here. The split push aggression. You saw how Evo Esports was responding to all these moves being from Todak as well. And MVP here goes towards Moon here, who's been doing fantastic work on that Kimi. But I feel it was definitely a team effort coming from Todak.
Yeah, and you have to give commendations to Evo Esports as well. Mocker and Kaze, these two were monsters. Kaze didn't even die the entire game. That's how good the calls on Evo Esports were. But it is the macro play from Todak. Contra and Gideon Q praised their macro play, and they've demonstrated it well in this game.
Yeah, speaking of macro play as well, I want to also highlight of the micro plays here, because who would have thought you could force the Lord into that small little corner here, favoring to the Todak, where they have this small wall protecting the Lord itself, right? In that fight here, Evo Esports was forced and overcommitted at stake, because they forced like 2 or 3 utilities in that fight here, and then Todak was just able to come out on top, which is insane. But before we get into this point here, I want to talk about early phase of this recap here. It's brought to you by U-Mobile, and you can see Evo Esports, they had the upper hand. They know that Todak did not exactly have the utilities to fight with, just because they have this solo tank Kufra to work with.
Yeah, and honestly speaking, Kufra has finally, the Kufra problem has finally been solved by Evo Esports. The whole fight, the whole game, Kufra was not the monstrous tank that we thought he is. Evo Esports, they found a lot of ways to kill off Evan. They found a lot of ways to deal with this Kufra engage. We'll see the Lord fight replay later on, but when that comes over, I want to point out how Todak did the micro play. But this solo display of skills from Mocker was just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, at the same time as well, you can see Todak, they were trying to buy so much time here. They were always constantly going for the split push, and they take this kind of 50-50 trades here, knowing they will lose, just because to buy time for X-Ray and also Chiku to come online, and that's exactly what they did. And sometimes even X-Ray was one of the beast player where actually, and there was like 2 or 3 times he just ran all the way through, just bought so much time. Like every 2 minutes of the windows that they needed for the timings from the side Todak is mostly bought from X-Ray. Even this commitment as well was a little bit of mistakes, but that commitment right there was for the opening for Chiku to close things out, which was fantastically done.
Yeah, Chiku getting the kill onto Harry basically stopped the entire aggression for Evo Esports. But look at here, the moment Itachi went for the ultimate, Todak immediately dispersed, so Itachi found no one. He was at 50% health when it happened, and that gave Todak enough time to go for the fight. Mocker managing to keep his team alive because no one was paying attention to him, but that Lord was enough for Todak to close things out.
Yeah, that Lord fight here, you know, it forced, like you said, Itachi went in for the first utility, but most of the players here from side Evo Esports were kind of stuck in that Lord pit, where they can't actually cross that high wall because they messed up a little bit, but there was a high wall. It's super tough to come in, and because of that, it allowed Todak to just go in for the wraparound and just clutch that game. So fantastically done here coming from Todak.
But we can both agree that this was a really close game. Evo Esports, they are here as the underdog. No one was paying attention to them, at least not most of the people, but they kind of silenced me for a while because of how good they are dealing with Todak, and I wouldn't be surprised if we get another game 3.
Oh yeah, and it feel like Todak, just based on Todak's draft here, he definitely anticipated the late game strategy. I feel like they were experimenting with the Masha and also the Hellcurt, but at the same time, I'm a little bit worried here because as of now, they've won that on a close whip. But yeah, because they by just trying out the strategy, it pretty much reveals that, hey, Todak is going to take a page off Axis Esports back in the Malaysia, Singapore qualifiers, right? They're going to take a page off here. They're going to play the split push strategy, and the split push strategy definitely worked out because you saw how Evo Esports was just going up, going mid, going dot bottom all the time to buy time to kind of push out the creep waves, and because of those little things here, it dragged it into this ultra late game where it made it towards a 50-50 situation where any team could have won that game here. One wrong move, that would have been game for Evo Esports.
Yeah, and this whole split push, this tower taking strategy started from RRQ from day one. That very first game against Evo's SG, where they took that first turret in under a minute and a half. Especially if you're dealing against a split push comp, that one turret can cost you a lot. But I wouldn't say that it's completely a loss. It's just that kind of build up to that factor.
Oh yeah, I like how they understood the map control as well. We always talked about, you mentioned as well how important the mid tower is always, right? Because it's shorter and also it gives so much map control, right? But I feel like Toda took a situation where they don't really care about mid tower because they want to play this U shape here. And they, in normal circumstances, the top and the bottom side here, split push, yes, is not that great for assaulting. But if you play a split push strategy here, Evo Esports is definitely going to force to like just focus up bottom and top. And all these micro things here, which opens the map for Todak, where we know how a lot of teams, I think was Gideon brought up as well, a lot of teams tend to struggle when they get snowballed. They get kind of like pressured into a tower, turtle into the base, right? That was the only opening that Todak could see, and they needed that here, especially when they were losing in terms of economy.
Yeah, sometimes it's about is what they say when you are in a losing situation. Sometimes you don't play to you don't play not to lose, you play to win. And Todak, because they understand their composition, they know the map control, the micromanagement, they send those solo laners to constantly push out the waves, even though they're dealing with a minion wave deficit, simply because Evo Esports were too focused on maneuvering as a unit.
Yeah, definitely here. But the one that stood out for me the most was the micro play from the Lord. Like, I never knew you can move the Lord all the way towards the back and not reset it. And that was something that was super risky. But at the same time, to pull that off, it takes a lot of time. Just because like you need to be uninterrupted, you have to need the aggro, and then just pull it to the side bit by it, pixel by pixel, in order to pull it off. And I'm surprised Evo Esports did not anticipate that, and I was definitely shocked as well. So I'm not surprised why they did not anticipate that.
Yeah, remember where I pointed out that Todak, they were waiting at the Lord pit 15 seconds before the Lord spawn, because they knew that Evo Esports will try to commit for that objective. That was the game-ending Lord if Evo Esports got it. So what they did, they sent the tanks to camp near the Lord pit. They sent both Hellcut and Marsha to start the split push. And you can see, Evo Esports, they only had two decisions: fully commit for the Lord and they might end up losing a base race, or recall and defend the base and losing the Lord. And in the end, they decided to recall and they lost the game instead.
Yeah, I like how you brought up that point as well. The first Lord here, they fell prey in towards Evo Esports, right? They saw how Toda was doing here. That's how Chiku was able to snipe the Lord, the tier 3 up top, right? And the second time they did that here, because when you talked about how Toda was actually camping their way in the bush, what they actually did was that, like you said, they sent Chiku to split. They sent, I think it was
X-Ray and Chiku.
X-Ray to split push up top with the Marsha, right? As soon as that thing happened, immediately you can see Evo Esports just sending like 2 guys up top to try and push out the creep wave. And as soon as they saw that opening here, Toda immediately began the Lord here. They know they were not ready here. They took that opportunity to just kind of readjust those Lords bit by bit here to that position, which was very, very nicely done.
And I felt like what Evo Esports could have done in that situation is to not commit for the Lord immediately, because they knew they were pushing the top and middle lane. The least they can do is to make sure that that minion wave in the middle lane was pushed towards Toda, so that they don't have to worry about Chiku, who was pushing the middle wave in. And even when he does that, he won't have the wave to take out that middle inhibitor. But because Evo Esports didn't manage it properly, they were forced into this dilemma where they end up losing everything.
Well, without further ado here, we've done all our further analysis and discussion here. Let's take a look into game number 2's draft.
Yep. Pretty sure the draft.
Oh, is it?
You're too excited.
No, I'm too excited.
Yeah, I'm too excited.
Yeah, I know.
You're just way too excited.
No.
But speaking, you brought the draft, right? So we've seen game 1, the Archive, Grok, Lolita. We talked about the 100% Lolita ban that Toda would definitely go for because of the draft. What do you expect to different, at least from Evo Esports? We're going to look at the loser for game 1 for now. What do you expect for them to change to possibly do with another split push Toda?
Oh, honestly speaking here, they needed something to close up the game. Like, if you think about the tags, right? Most of the S tier decks were kind of taken out from game number 1, and we saw that Evo Esports, they were forced to pick the DG and Gato Kacha, and DG and Gato Kacha doesn't have those kind of creep clear kind of tags, and because of those reasons, that was enabled Toda to go for this kind of aggressive split push here. If let's say you got like, maybe you force out the Terista, which is kind of out of meta as a supportive tank, maybe things would have been a little bit better. But it's understandable why they needed the Digi here to actually deal with the Kufra, Tyrant's Rage, and also the various slows here and stuns, and the silence as well from the side of Hellcut. So those are the things that they definitely need to worry about here. And you can see Toda, they're having a serious discussion trying to figure out what is the next strategy. They took game 1, but definitely it was not an easy game 1 for them.
Yeah, that Evo Esports gave them a run for the money. And especially if you're Toda right now, you might be looking at the Harif and thinking, do I want to take out this Harif for game number 2? Because Evil Esports, they first picked the Harif, they went with the carry for the second pick, and those two cores absolutely destroyed what Todak tried to do, if not for the split push composition. So maybe Todak might want to give this Archive or maybe Grok away and focus on the cores of Evil Esports instead.
Yeah. When we talk about those Grok and Archive, right? The tanks, S tier tanks here, we always talk about. I think in normal pubs as well, S tier tanks are the most important in pubs, just because the pre-4s here are usually decided by the early aggressions and creep clear, and also getting those early XPs, right? Those kind of tanks are exceptionally well. But in this case, in just now's game, we saw how Evil Esports, they were struggling in a way with the tanks. They had the Diggy, which gives you a little bit of map control with those alarm bombs, but Gato Kacha's creep clear is not exactly as quick as any other heroes. Yes, you have, if you want to talk about the Xbox, it's great, but the Xbox is focusing on the top lane. We're talking about mid control, top control all the way through, and then just transitioning into as a buff steal or maybe an objective here. And they can't do it as efficient as some of these heroes like Grok, or some of these heroes like the Terizla in that regards at one point, but Terizla kind of fall a little bit here just because of his mobility. Yes, they have this great damage reduction back in the previous patch, but in current patch here, not so much. It was nerfed a little bit too much here, and the mobility is one of the key factors here, especially when we want to deal with split push potential here. And I feel like to deal with that kind of aggression here, if we were to say the game wants exact same draft, the arrival on the Xbox here would be the deciding point to actually win them those games.
Yeah, and if you're Evil Esports, I think there's not much adjustment that has to be made to the draft. I think that draft was absolutely
it was
perfect.
fantastic.
It was fantastic. You had we are talking about the one tank, one support, 3 cores, but it somehow worked out because of how they played it. They can consider the Leo mod as well. I know I've been talking about this Leo mod. We'll look at the draft as we continue this discussion. But yeah, I really like this Leo mod being the consideration because of how stable it is. It doesn't have to be a necessity, but you can always fall back. He's like the reliable guy in your team.
Yeah, definitely something they have to focus about here. But we've seen the power of Hellcat being played in the hands of Toda, right? It was a tough thing to work out here, but I feel like Evil Esports, if they play it in the exact same draft in game number 1 here, things are going to be a little bit different here, because instead of the normal items, the skill sets that they actually use for, the arrival onto his Xbox is going to change the entire tempo from Saitoma. And I'm really excited, or maybe curious, to see how Toda will actually play if that was the situation from game number 1.
Evil Esports, you can look at their faces. They are in full focus mode because of the game 1 loss, but hopefully it didn't damage. It's not really damaging or to a mentality or in any way, but losing this kind of close game can definitely have a negative impact if you were not ready for it. They're gonna ban out the Kimi instead of the in comparison to the Kaja, which I like because Kimi was what's stopping them from getting into Todak's space. So Todak will ban out Kaja instead, and we'll see if Evil Esports will go for another high loss ban.
It might actually happen here, but in this case, the high lows might be up for grabs here, and same goes for Brock. So I think that Toda is not too worried about the Kimi ban here. They have so many hero pools to work with. But at the same time, Evil Esports here, they will prioritize on that Harif ban. So seems to me, Hylos and Grok is going to stick into this pool now.
I'm surprised for the Harif ban because Toda normally will go for the Lunox instead of the Harif, but it's fine. Toda will take the Grok instead, and now Kufra is open. We will see if Evil Esports will follow our textbook, the culture of M1 so far, where you see Kufra, you pick Kufra, or will they stick with the comfort zone and take the carry
That's the thing, right? During their the Turkey qualifiers here, I've not seen a single Kufra play from Evil Esports. Maybe I'm wrong, but they will definitely prioritize the Kufra and the Hylos now. So yeah, definitely I've been proving wrong now.
It's just too good of a choice to let go. So Kufra and Hylos, fantastic tanks. Easy to deal with the Grok as well. You don't have to really fear the Grok too much. But Evil Esports, now you're kind of splitting yourself, kind of diverting from the 3-1-1 strategy. You're looking at the 2-3, 3 cores or 2-1-2 strat. We'll see if Evil Esports will stick with the carry because Harif is not there. You can replace that with the Lunos or Esmeralda. Xbox also on the table. We'll see if Toda go for the Xbox Marsha again.
Wow, Marsha getting prioritized once again here. This time, it seems to me they are one of the first few teams to actually adapt to the Marsha meta as well. Coming from Todak, seeing how game day 1 and day 2 went, right? Especially from side RQ, they avoid banning the Marsha so much. In this case, I feel like it's going to be a tough one here. But Todak, I like this adaptation that's been made from them. And now with the Chang'e being picked out here, great stuff, great call out as well, knowing that Todak, they have no choice. Then they have no choice but to pick any other heroes. And the Chang'e is definitely a safe pick here because they cannot force themselves to pick a Lolita just because of the Kufra and the high loss. So good pick there coming from Todak.
Yeah, exactly. And also, in the previous game as well, all these picks are not the normal ones that we see. We didn't see any Granger, we didn't see any Lunox. Evo Esports, it is their turn to go for the Hellcut. I love this pick. I was thinking maybe they want to prioritize on that fighter, but on second thought, taking that Hellcut will block Todak Esports from maybe some of their choices they want to take in the second phase.
Yeah, and one of the reasons why Hellcut is such a good pick here to deal with Harif in the previous game was that the darkness kind of blinds Harif completely, not being able to dish out and make fully utilize of the chrono on the Zaman Force here. So that was one of the reasons why the Hellcut was picked here in the previous game. But at the same time, this game here, Lunox will be banned. Chang'e is kind of in the pool as well. Lunox is something that they could not deal with, especially from the side of Masha, where Masha wants to get in your face and just poke your way through with the House Shock and just burst you down immediately here. But at the same time, you know, there's still the Gord in the way available to deal with the Chang'e here. But Valir ban, this is something I did not expect here. But at the same time, the Valir was super annoying from the side of Toda in game number 1 though, just because of those kind of blasts here.
Then there we go. I talked about the Leomord going over to Evo Esports. I talked about how Evo Esports can instantly lock in their Lunox, and Toda, they smell that. They ban out the Lunox is there. So far, it has been according ever so slightly to my script, but Evo Esports with that Leomord locked in. Todak now, I feel like the draft for Todak is good. I like it. I like the opening. But looking at what Evo Esports has right now, it seems like Evo Esports, they have the edge ever so slightly.
Yeah, Xbox completely making it all the way to the bottom here from the side of Todak. And it seems to me here, it is going to be a position for Xbox here. Apparently, it's going to be a tank Xbox here. We have not seen too much work. Honestly speaking, I'm not a big fan of this support Xbox. But Todak has been known to be able to make this kind of weird plays. And the only reason why they pull this kind of annoying strategy is because they know how this Masha is capable of split pushing on his own. It's kind of like a hybrid tankish, which shares in terms of overall damage between the Xbox and also the Masha. And because of that, it's kind of like a triple tank composition coming from Todak. And I'm liking it here. The only reason I say why it's workable now is because the triple tank setup, just because of how Masha and Xbox bring so much value in terms of tankiness and split push potential.
And remember what I mentioned earlier on, Todak might fall back to the Masha Xbox, and they really went for it. And it's also because of Evo Esports Hellcut and Leomord pick. They banned the Valiant. They're forcing Todak into this corner where the Xbox looks very juicy. And Zax, we talked about this.
Wow.
I told you yesterday, we might see a Zax eventually. And it's going to be Evo Esports from Turkey to bring it out.
Oh yeah, based on my research as well, Evo Esports is the only team that brought a Zaz out of all the teams here. They actually wanted it here. If I'm not mistaken, it was insane. Honestly speaking, it was crazy plays here. They had a couple of clutches as well.
I'm feeling really happy, right? My predictions are coming true. I'm feeling really great about myself. But of course, I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure that Evo Esports after game 1 will give us an interesting game 2. We talk about the Burmese Ghoul effect, any off-meta picks that might throw our local teams off, and the Zax might be the one for Evo Esports.
Oh yeah, the Nightmarish spawn and the Immortality getting in towards the Nightmarish spawn with the ultimate here is definitely something you got to be watching out for. But I'm a little bit worried here, how will Todak play against this? But seeing how things went well for them in game number 1 with the split push effect here, and Zaz is kind of the type of hero who just, you know, stays in the lane here. So I'm a little bit worried in terms of mobility wise, but nothing an rival can't solve it, honestly speaking.
The Hellcat and Leomord kind of solves that problem for Evo Esports as well. Previously, you are looking at the Gato Gacha, the carry, the Xbox. They don't have that luxury. But with the Hellcat and Leomord, Evo Esports right now, if they want to go split push, they can do the same to Todak, who is lacking in that department.
Well, honestly speaking here, if this was a pub game, I would say like, I don't know which to pick here. But based on the level of gameplay that Toda and Evo Esports and also the mind games that is being dished out here, I'm telling you that this draft is a 50-50 draft. And it's not a pub draft. It's a 50-50 draft. It's just how much they understand each other's draft and team gameplay.
Exactly, and I have to say as well, if Evo Esports manages to equalize this series and push it to a game 3, Todak will be in a disadvantage ever so slightly when it comes to the group itself, because let's say if they close this out with only 3 points, they only have one last series to kind of go to, and Group A was very tight, was very close 2 days ago. Yesterday was a complete rollover because of all those 2-0s, but today seems really, really, neck to neck as well.
Yeah, and honestly speaking, I like how Evo Esports has able to adapt this draft to deal with Todak's playstyle immediately in game number 2. But I'm not too sure if it's going to work out or not. But if it works out here, that's just how tough the competition here, especially in group number C for all these players here, all these teams here.
Yeah, we want to see if Evo Esports will pull out the whole curveball of the meta effect. The Zaz definitely was an initial indicator. It is the first step for Evo Esports to possibly derail Todak in what Todak know about them, and because of the lack of info that a lot of teams just don't get from from teams like Evo Esports that qualify from different regions, Todak in game 1 found it hard to deal with a meta composition. Now they have to deal with an off-meta composition. I'm definitely excited to see what Evo Esports can bring to game 2.
Well, I actually kind of disagree with the off-meta thing here. Like in pubs, yes, not many people play the Zaz. But in high-tier games, we occasionally see a couple of signature Zaz, which kind of like opens up a little bit here.
Yeah.
And I like that, we've seen teams who tried it out, just didn't work out. But knowing how Evo Esports has always picked this as a comfort pick as their pocket strategy in towards their qualifiers during their qualifiers in the MPL, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, it's worked out a lot. A lot of teams don't exactly know how to deal with it just because you can't take down the Zaz and he's just poking you at a safe distance here. So in this case here, I don't know, it's going to be 50-50 for me. But ladies and gentlemen here, this is Todak going up against Evo Esports with game number 2.
Yeah, and I probably need to rephrase myself. Maybe not the off-meta, it's just that we don't see it as often, the rare picks. But on the other hand, I agree that this Zaz in some of the regions, especially like you say for Evo Esports in Turkey, has been working out phenomenally well for them. They're going to do the same thing as game 1. Cut from Todak's side at least. Katze immediately pushed out. He's on the Leomon this time instead of the carry, and Todak is going to play that 1 minute and a half tower strategy once more.
Well, opening things up here, usually you go for the guy strategy, it pretty much opens up their strategy to say that, hey, we're going to go for the split push potential. And in this case, Evo Esports, I'm not sure if they understand this, but at the same time, doing this play to actually try to steal off their buffs from the side Todak here. It seems to me Evo Esports have decided on pulling off their own momentum swing here.
Yeah, it's under 1 minute, top tier 1 taken out. And in the last game, the problem with Todak was that they could not transition that push to open up the map, and it was Evo Esports who got a reply. But this time Evo Esports, they're going to play the same way they did in game 1. They let the tower go, and Todak, they realized this characteristic from Evo Esports, and they're going to capitalize on that.
Yeah, that's the power of what Xbox brings in its team push potential, right? Clearing creepers exceptionally quickly here, and surprise enough, the Zaz Nightmare spawn immediately gets taken out relatively quickly here just because of the power of Xbox and what the Grok swing can actually do here. So Todak, they tested out their theory. Maybe they can actually close this early aggression. However, the Nas in some trouble. Will be immune from the Furiga armor.
Oh, Bruno gets taken now. Chico being killed off by Ash. So that's the first blood. Another kill. The Zaz found another one, but great block. The Guardians barrier Itachi on the crew, but pretty tanky. The Revitalize is dropped down. Itachi getting out with that bouncing ball, and Luca will also escape. So Evo Esports again opening up with a great start. X-Ray, he saw Itachi, but Itachi gets drawn right away. Ash missing that blink a little bit, but X-Ray is now in a really bad position. Can he get out? Walker finally with a Nightmare spawn. Luca not able to get in range. Does get the Ring of Punishment, but X-Ray will get out.
Well, nice play there coming from Itachi early on, but however, now Todak is forced to disengagement here. But I like how Itachi was just baiting with the Kufra. He waited for the right moment here for the X-Ray to come in, and instead of going for the stun, he just dodged his way through. So nice disengagement here coming from Evo Esports. However, we have to talk about this turtle buff as well, because Todak immediately transitions into that to secure it for themselves.
And they done that in game 1 as well, where they always go for turtle after the initial death of their teammate. Evo Esports, they were just not fast enough to respond to what Todak was trying to do with those objectives, and that has what's been keeping Todak in game 1. We'll see if that stays same for game 2. Nerna's getting engaged on. It's two members from EVO Esports on top of him. He has to retreat.
Nicely done there from Nernas. Fire Sticks actually pulls out Mocker, forces the out Nightmare Spawn to actually use here, and this is gonna hurt a little bit here, but because of this small play that he actually made, EVO Esports is not able to transition into a tower push because of that, and now he will get scouted out as well without a spawn, and EVO Esports, this is not looking too good for the Zaz.
E1 with the solo kill onto Mocker. This is huge if you're Tola right now. This Zaz will be down for another 3 seconds. At that time, it's not so long, but Tola can immediately go for the push. Itachi found out, and that will be blocked by E1. Tola trying to go for the push, but immediately Phantom Steeds from Kaze will stop that.
Ooh, another big ultimate has been forced out as well from side of Toda, and now Ash is all by himself here. He's once again finished off, but you can see Toda, they're gonna give Chase here. Glorious halfway has been expanded as well, trying to back him out. Will he get finished off? No, unfortunately it doesn't. Tyrant's Mage whiffing here from side of Itachi, and Toda, they will be on the assault. Moon here he comes here, revitalize up on Luca. Can they finish him off? Yes, they will take it down, but Changi from the side, Nernas from the side as well, will try to pick up Nernas, but now, here it comes the Nightmare Spawn, here comes A1. A1 will get finished off here, another setup as well. Nernas breaks the Ferga armor, but that will be all from the Zaz here, coming from Marker.
Yeah, EVO Esports, they wanted to go for the engage, but Toda was ready for that. You're running a 2-tank, 1 assassin in that skirmish. It was not going to work out because of Toda's front line, but because of EVO Esports. E1 getting counter kill as we look at this replay right now. Hellcat went for the engage, immediately gets taken up by Moon. The overcommitment from EVO Esports not working in their favor. Luca buying enough time, and when Mocker came in, he waited for the exact right moment to kill off E1, and that stopped Toda's aggression.
That was a nice play there coming from both of these teams here. However, Toda still advantageous with 2K economy. EVO Esports, they're not too happy about this here. Here comes a meteor shower coming from Moon, forcing the back. Glorious Pathway also disengaging in that fight as well. Guardian's Barrier to stop things in track. Unfortunately, doesn't catch off anyone, but Turtle Buff is going to be up for contestants here. Where is the Retribution? Where's the rest of members from side of Toda? How will they do this? E1 might be in some trouble.
E1, the re-engage, Toda goes in with the last insanity, and it steals the Turtle away. He will trade his life for that, but Toda, well worth. The split push is continuing from the side of Chiku, but a rival immediately used by Kaze. Not able to engage onto Chiku though, so Toda, they hold on once more.
Definitely a nice steal there coming from Nernas here. Unfortunately, he loses his life, but still, great play there coming from Toda, because why in that game plan there, they tried to actually push up their top tier 2s from side EVO Esports, and EVO Esports, they got a good read immediately, and this is what I'm talking about, alright? A rival will change the entire tempo, especially against a split push comp coming in from Toda.
He won again, he is found out, has to wild charge away. Can EVO Esports get on top of him? No, Nightmare Spawn. Not enough damage this time. Toda, they've learned from their lesson. Once bitten, twice shy.
Great call there coming from EVO Esports, but once again, the ultimate here on the Zaz is pretty much gets baited out once again. Toda, how will they do this? Luca is in the front lines. Xbox Nernas tries to pull it back, forces the Glorious Pathway. Itachi from the side. Tyrant Rage, connect on the jungle. Where's the follow-up? There's not going to be any here, but the Guardians Barrier is stalling the track. Evo X, they're trying to fight this here, and how will this happen? Double kill from Changa. They will force this out. Revital is there. Ash comes in with the darkness here, tries to take out Moon. Unfortunately, doesn't have enough to damage it, and EVO Esports, they will lose 2-0.
They defended that mid-tier 2. They will lose the top tier 2 though. Good fight from EVO Esports. The only deficit was that the meteor shower killed off the Leomon before the fight even began. So Kaze was not even there to begin with, but the fact that EVO Esports managing to hold this on meant that they still have a great fighting chance. But Toda, just perfect execution to get those kills.
Yep. And speaking of which here, Toda, you know, they have the advantage with the meteor shower. EVO Esports, fantastic defense overall here, despite having 4K deficit. But how will they do this here? Blade armor is going to be finished up on Aeon very soon here. Glowing one is already up on Moon, and this is Chang'e is going to hit like a truck very soon.
Yeah, and EVO Esports, they are playing this double tank, which means that you have a lot of avenue to protect your backline from that meteor shower, but instant engage, the wild shot from E1, not enough to kill off Ash. He forced out the ultimate though. EVO Esports, they have the immediate response, and look at the meteor shower, just chunking Luca down to 50% health. Hold up, they've gotten control of the entire map.
Yep, slowly but surely this Bruno is gonna come out online. Chico is 0-1-0, doing fantastically well, trying to not die so much here, but 8 minutes has passed. Dragging this game a little bit longer here will allow Chico to just close things up as a marksman, just because Evo Esports don't exactly have a really hard physical damage output besides the Hellcat, which you can see Ash was already struggling.
Yeah, and Ash 1-1-1, still not in a position that is not recoverable, but like I said, Todak, they have control of the whole map. All altitude towers have been taken out. Lord up in 65 seconds. Evo Esports, the good thing about them is that they can defend that high ground. It is not impossible because of that Leomord and Zaz. But Todak, if they manage to suffocate Evo Esports, they can easily take this game away.
Definitely, but in this case here, the next Lord is going to be up for the focus here. 50 seconds there, and Todak is going to try and snowball the economy even further before this next Lord team fight. Evo Esports, how will they respond? We see fleeting time up available on the Zaz here. Very smart call here, just because he knows how quickly his spawns gets destroyed coming from Todak. He wants that slight advantage here to actually pull through later on the stage here, and Todak, I think they might be in for a surprise.
Yeah, 30 more seconds until that Lord spawns, and Todak is just playing on Evo Esports' side of the map to make sure that Evo Esports never had an opportunity to take control of that Lord pit like what Todak did in Game 1. But Evo Esports, they are holding their ground. All the inhibitors are still fairly healthy at 100% health. So there's a great chance that Evo Esports, if they find a collapse, they can come back.
Yep, speaking of which here, 7 seconds left before the Lord respawns. Evo Esports, they have not pushed up the creep wave here. You can see on the bottom side as well, Nernas is constantly pressuring the bottom side of the map, whereas on the middle side, Luca is gonna do something here, but you can see the Lord is gonna be up for grabs here as X-Ray is starting the Lord fight, and Todak, they are gonna try and secure this, but I'm not sure if Evo Esports expects this here, because you can see also Nernas trying to split push here as well. Stickers are out, and Nernas is baiting Evo Esports, and they are lost here. Immediately, the Lord takes out 3 big core items, coming up into a Todak as well.
One of the biggest distractions, Nernas with last standing does not take down Itachi, but forces him back, and now the Guardian's Barrier will block off Luca from the rest of his team. The Lord secured by Todak under 10 minutes. Perfect timing. Evo Esports with such a big deficit, they're going to start giving away inhibitors because of this push.
Yep, the Lord is going to be pushing on the top side here, whereas Todak is going to be focusing on split pushing down bottom here, with Nernas going to be on the other end of this assault. And Evo Esports, how will they defend against this now?
They need to force a fight right now, but Todak is not giving them that evidence. They know that Evo Esports have a great way to start any fight that they want. This is why they're playing away from the rest. They're playing away from the rest of the team. The cores are actually not with the front line, and here comes the meteor shower. They're going to get the lockup instantly. Hylos is now down. No Growlers pathway. Mega kill for Chang'e, and it's Todak right on the scoreboard. They see blue. The boys are blue. Malaysia, blue flag with the stars. They're going to close out game 2. Crystal will be taken out. Todak get their first 3 points and their first 2-0 in Group C.
Fantastic gameplay here coming from Todak, and my oh my, Evo Esports is a team you gotta be watching out for as well, because they pull some serious punch, especially from game number 1. They gave Todak a run for their money here. Unfortunately to say, Evo Esports, they will fall down in this series here, just like how Todak did against Sunsparks early on, but still, all things considered here, all hope is not lost yet. Anything goes in this World Cup.
Yeah, fantastic recovery from Todak after a close game 1. Because of that, they've bagged themselves 3 points. They are now 4 points in Group C compared to Sunsparks 3 points, but Sunspark, they're in a really good position as well. They've won 2 points, excuse me, because of their first game. But Todak now, they have one last series to go against Geo later on. Evo Esports, they shouldn't be discouraged by this. They put on an amazing performance.
Definitely here. This is no... They are definitely no strangers to the international scene. Like, the way they play, the intensity, the veteran and experience as well. You could tell that they are in here to win it. But unfortunately to say, they still have 2 more series to go. But ladies and gentlemen here, for those of you who missed this game here, let's take a look at the highlights for game number 2 in this best of 3 series.
And this all started with this particular skirmish where the Hellcat Ash slightly overcommitted. He lost his life. The only reason that Todak was not able to push the lead forward was because of this great patience from Mocker, the Zaz, killing out the Grok immediately after that overcommitment from Todak. But as the game progresses, Todak got the objective. They got the Lord. E1 especially in this game, I think he's the MVP.
Yeah, definitely here. He bought so much time, but still, for me, Nanas was also one of the MVPs as well, just because he still this turtle buff. Yes, he died a little bit here, but if you pay attention on how the top side as well, Bruno was constantly getting safe farm, taking away all this aggression away from Evo Esports, and because of that, Todak, I feel like the true MVPs is all 5 members from them because they understand each other's mechanisms. They compensate each other really well from like a long distance relationship.
Yeah, and for this particular fight that just transpired in the previous replay, we saw how the Leomon instantly died because no one was blocking that meteor shower, and all it took, there's not much to show after that because Todak was just riding on an avalanche. They jet skied their way to this victory, and it was well deserved.
Yeah, Todak feels like a completely different team here ever since they came from the MPL Malaysia as Singapore Season 4, right? Like, they feel like a completely different team, and I feel like they have a pretty strong understanding of what's going on in this current meta now.
Yeah, the Swordfish, they pierced through the heart of Evo Esports in that game 2. Game 1 was a testing ground. They were experimenting, okay, what is Evo Esports doing? But game 2, the Martial Xbox, I expected that. The Lunox ban also expected. But also Evo Esports draft, I'm not, wouldn't say that it's a bad draft. They're just playing to the comfort zone. It's just at the end of the day, Todak found more footing.
Yeah, definitely. And at the same time as well, the Zaz pick here, unfortunately, well, if it was a normal draft here against the split push, I feel like it would definitely worked out. But split push potential, Zaz just doesn't come online in terms of mobility, but they compensated that with the Leomon. So I feel like Evo Esports, they definitely played the best hand that they can. But at the same time, you know, Todak was just one step ahead just because they didn't expect taking the tier 1 here. However, enough said here about the game here. Let's take a look at what Todak has to say about taking that series against Evo Esports.
What's good, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Manjin Faldas, and I am here with Mr. Moon from Team Todak, the mage player of Team Todak, for the post-game interview. But first of all, congratulations to you, Moon, securing 4 points for the third day of our group stages. What is going to the mind of Moon right now coming into M1?
Okay. Apa kau rasa tentang masuk M1 ni?
Okay, apa yang saya rasa tentang M1 ni, kita dapat belajar benda yang baru, gameplay luar yang baru, and kita orang rasa sangat happy lah. Even kita orang kalah first match dengan Sunspark, and kita orang dapat buat balik dekat match yang kedua lawan Evil. So yeah,
We get to see a lot of new gameplays, and we've adapted to it. The game against Sunspark let us realize that we need to change every game through every game.
Right, so you want to adjust something in your team. All right, so coming into game series number 2, that was indeed a clutch Lord steal coming in from you guys. How did you manage to come back from that game?
actually kita orang ada kelebihan silence, ada card kan. So kita orang gunakan kelebihan headcard tu untuk silence enemy. So bila dapat silence, enemy tak boleh nak retreat or nak guna skill. So daripada situ kita orang dapat curi lot, and communication yang bagus dengan teammates yang lain.
Before even the game started, we've already decided what type of gameplay we wanted to play. So we just split push, and then towards the lot timing, whereby we make use of the Hellcat silence, so that the Harif couldn't retreat the lot after we pull it away.
All right, so quite a strategy right there, that Hellcat ultimate. Of course, you're up against Team Geo later, so do you have any messages from them?
Of course, for Geo, welcome to Malaysia, and dekat bola korang boleh menang sebab di Neymar, dekat Malaysia korang tak boleh menang.
To Geo, welcome to Malaysia. I think your country is only known for football, like Neymar and Ronaldinho, but in MLBB, people only know Malaysia.
All right, so Malaysia is the M in ML right there. So lastly, any shout outs to your fans, Mr. Moon?
Okay, for our fans, thank you for supporting us, and always be with us. Tanpa korang, tak ada kita orang. And thank you juga kepada Todak, and sebab selalu bagi kita orang semangat tak kira apa pun jadi. And terima kasih kepada family di luar sana yang support Femi, Amox and every teammates yang lain lah.
Thank you to all our friends and fans that have supported us all the way, and to our families also, plus to the Todak management and everyone who have supported us from day one to now. Yeah, so thank you.
All right, that is Moon right there. 4 points for Team Todak, and let's pass it back to our shoutcasters.
Strong words from Moon. He said that for the last series, Geo, they are known for only soccer, but they've come to the wrong football field, the wrong playing field at least in Malaysia. We'll see if that pans out in that series, but such confidence from Todak. I love it.
Yeah, definitely here. And at the same time as well, I'm looking forward to see what they're going to be bringing here. But for our next game here, we're going to be having Evo Esports as well going to be playing.
We're having Sunsparks versus Geo Esports.
Oh, sorry. It's going to be Sunsparks going up against Geo Esports later on. That's going to be an interesting one here. But at the same time, well, Geo, they can't be focused on Todak right now because they have to focus on that match.
Oh, yeah.
But as of now here, for those of you watching here, we're going to be taking a short break. However, remember to catch every battle stream like Cray. Get unlimited data for all apps with Gila Unlimited GX30 only with U-Mobile. My name is ICBaby12.
Girls with the nails done. Girls with the nails done.
They told us that it's just a game. That nothing will ever come out of it. That it won't bring us fame or glory. That it won't make our country proud. They told us to stop wasting our time. Well, let them say all they want. We'll prove it to them. We'll be the champions. Mobile Legends Bang Bang World Championship 2019. M1.
You may have been denied. You may have hit rock bottom. You may have been craving for the lights. Now, all strive for one goal.
Taking that life of the Akayas, whether it becomes the jump on the Emerald.
Put your hands together for the champion.
Do you have what it takes to be a champion worthy of the highest glory?